Hello and welcome to another video to help you grow and create a flourishing career as a musical artist. My goal is to always give you practical advice that is rooted in sound business practices that you can apply to your artist career. So today we're going to talk about something that I think is super simple but also super profound about how you can start to visualize your business and bring in way more income. If you're struggling, if you're having difficulty growing your fan base and also selling to your fan base, then looking at this as a model for how you could maybe make some changes in your own business, I think will be extremely helpful. Before we jump in, I just want to say, if you haven't already, check out my free single release checklist that is in the notes below this video. It goes in depth into how to release your single. Nowadays, everybody's releasing singles, and I've had so many artists come back to me and say this checklist was invaluable. I can't believe you're giving it away for free. I've paid for stuff like this before. So definitely check it out and let me know what you think. If there's anything you want to add to it, let me know. I'm always all ears. All right, let's jump in. So this is a business concept that I heard not too long ago, and I can't remember if it has a name to it, but I thought it was great. And it just basically shows up in these 4 quadrants. So if you look on this diagram right here, we're going to talk about all these 4 different quadrants and what they mean. If you're looking at it right now, you might be like, oh, I kind of get this. But let's start by looking at the upper left quadrant. So in that upper left quadrant, we have what most artists start out as, which is a small fan base selling relatively low-priced merchandise, products, or services. So I'm going to refer to products and services as an artist because in your business model, you most likely are selling t-shirts, CDs, other merch items, as well as possibly having a service, which is your gigs, maybe doing weddings, any sort of performance that you're actually getting paid for is a service. So you have these 2 costs, and when you're starting out, they're both probably priced really low. So this is a very dangerous place to stay in for very long because your business will die eventually. There's no way. And unfortunately, myself included, I think I've spent way too much time in my own artist career in this small thing where I had a small fan base and I'm not really selling that much merch, if anything, and it's usually all in the $20 or less category. And my shows, you might be getting a couple $100s for a gig. You might even be doing less, and so you're starting out and you're trying to get more money. Now, the other option is if we go to the right quadrant, you're going to notice that there's still that small fan base aspect, but now in this business section, you have higher priced products and higher priced services. So you can have a successful career in this quadrant. This quadrant is not terrible, it's not the best, but it's definitely better than having a small fan base and selling really cheap products and services. So if you move to this quadrant, you may still have a smaller fan base. Let's say maybe you only have 1,000 people on your email list or even 500 people on your email list. What's amazing is that if you can sell even a small percentage to those people on your email list and you can sell them something that's a larger price product, then you can suddenly make a living off of a smaller fan base. So let's say that you have 1,000 people on your email list and maybe only 1% of them buy from you, but if you're selling a $100 course or a $100 product, or maybe you're doing a behind the scenes VIP session at your show, you can suddenly get a lot more money from just those 10 people. So this is a much better business model. And I think this is where artists need to think a little bit more creatively about how they could grow and offer services that are maybe not traditionally thought of as services, such as these VIP treatments and higher priced items. I know from my own Patreon, I have a $100 level, which makes you an executive producer. And you'd be amazed at just having that price point that some people will actually pay you $100 a month just because they want to feel like they're supporting you in that way. And if you didn't have that price point at all, if you were just like, oh, I'm just going to do like $3, $10, and maybe $15, and I don't want to even try the $100 level, you're missing out on it and leaving a lot of money on the table. So it's super important that you start to think a little bit bigger and have not only the cheaper options for your average customer, but also these really kind of high-tiered super VIP options for your super fans. So we'll talk a lot about super fans throughout a lot of these videos, but I think that's key to understand. Now, if we go down to the lower left quadrant, you're going to see that we have this other option, which is where you could have a big fan base, but continue selling cheaper services and goods. And this is also a very dangerous place to be in your business. Let's say that suddenly you have maybe 20,000 people on your email list, but you're continually trying to sell them cheap things like $10 trinkets on your merchandise, or $15 here, $20 there, and you're relying on streaming services which aren't paying you much. And maybe you're in this attitude of like, oh, everyone's against us, the streaming services want to destroy us, when the reality is you're actually just in a bad business model that you potentially can definitely get out of by thinking about getting those higher priced items. So again, this lower quadrant area is not a great place to be, and I would highly recommend anyone who's in this area to think about trying to transition into having higher priced items. Now, the golden spot where you want to be is in the lower right hand corner, which is where you have a large fan base and you're also offering some higher priced options. So this could be, like we talked about, VIP services. This could be a Patreon page where you have that $100, $500 option. Maybe you charge $3,000 for a private house show, where you know that maybe you only have about $500 of cost up front to do it, so you're making $2,500 profit. I mean, that is the way that you want to start thinking in terms of bringing in high dollar items for doing less work. If you want to supplement your artist career with maybe some sort of course option or something like that, that's also a great way to go so that you can start to charge higher dollar amounts to more and more people. I hope this video was really helpful. Like I said, this is kind of simple. It's not rocket science, but just looking at this 4-quadrant diagram, I think will help you get sort of a clearer picture of why so many artists suffer, why they're focused on vanity metrics like more Instagram followers when those followers never turn into sales. So at the end of the day, I want you guys to make a living off your music. I am a producer. I work with artists all the time, and I want to see them succeed. And I know that being savvy as a business person is the key to doing that. So like I said, if you enjoy this video, check out that single release checklist. I guarantee it will help you release your next single. I'm sure there's something on there that maybe you didn't think of. If nothing else, it will organize all those many steps that you have to do. All right, until next week, I will see you all later. Thanks so much for watching.